Hello, greetings to everyone. Happy weekend. How is everyone doing? Apologies, this is another day we're starting late. I know some people have been like, hey, it's time, but we're here. So if you're new to the family, we say a big welcome to you. And to everybody connected, we encourage you that as you connect, please help to share the live session. And we encourage those who have not subscribed that please do so that you make it easy for yourself to have notification each time we are live that you're among the first to receive this notification. Oh my god, happy to have you connected today, bro. Mr. Nanaja, thank you so much for joining. So today we're talking about an amazing topic. So always also as a reminder, you're free to if you want um to join this discussion with me, please you're welcome. I can share the link to you. So any person want to join the screen, we will be honored to have you. So as usual, we're going to give few minutes for people to have notifications. It takes some minutes sometimes due to network for people to have notification once you go live, not just to us but to every other channel. So today we have a very specific topic, and a topic that I know we all are going to learn from each other. It's always a discussion, which means I'm learning from every other person who's sharing, be it on the screen or on the comment section. Everybody has this, according to Desiderator, has something to say, which is something I really believe in. Even the dull and ignorant, they too have something to say. So even somebody is drunk, trust me, the person can still say a lot of wise things. So also let me be sure that everybody connected, you can hear me clearly. Make me notify me that on the comment section, please. So, few seconds because you're starting late, we may not have any music break. We may just go straight to the point. And so, as you said, when you come, we encourage you to share and also make yourself visible in the comment section. Let's know who you are, where you're connected from. It's a family, we don't bite. And we like to connect with each other. So, let's know where you're watching us from. And for those who are joining for the first time again and again, you are really highly welcome here at home. Yeah, we talk about amazing topics related to our career, related to our life, related to our purpose, related to our goals, and things related to that. Okay, thank you. I see some people making themselves visible in the comment section. Okay, someone say I'm following already. Okay, thank you for joining. So, okay, it's always a blessing to have amazing people with us. It's also always a blessing to share with awesome people like you. So we are going straight to the point. Our topic today is basically strategies to identify or how to identify our ideal career niche. So there's a difference between a career and a career niche. So guys, when we talk about career, by the way, what comes to your mind? Please let's share that in the comment section. Like when we talk about career, what comes to your mind? So by the way, it's just like I've been stuck with this career of a thing the whole of this month or for a month now. Because for those who are new, I normally don't just have topics come up the day before or 1 week before. Sometimes it's a month before. So so it just happened that our topics this week have been in the direction of career, and it's a blessing to me because I've had a lot of experiences this week that had to make me to sit down again and reflect again. Like, am I actually in my career niche? And like, okay, I see why this topic had to come. So first of all, I always believe even if you're a preacher, you're a teacher, the first person you teach or you minister is to yourself. And it's such a blessing because definitely you learn first before you go and share to other people, which is so nice. And I enjoy it. I love it. That you have to first of all teach yourself. You have to first minister to yourself before you go and share it to the public. So guys, let me know that in the comment section. When we talk about career, what is that first thing that comes to your mind? So for me, I think I had a lot of things to change this week, by the way. So that's why I believe this was first of all for me. The message was first of all for me and everybody. Not like I've totally been thinking different. You know, when you know the theory part of things, but what we apply is not always in line with exactly. You can be saying this and you're doing that. Like you're saying y plus y is 2, and you're writing y plus y is 3. So basically, I've sat down to say that is what sometimes we as humans tend to do. You know, you're saying this is what career is, this is what I want to focus, but what we do or what you find yourself doing on a daily basis is not really. It can be also, by the way, it can be in that direction by chance, not really like that is what you're thinking while doing it. You're just doing it, but what you're saying and what you're doing really don't align. Greetings to everyone active in the comment section. Greetings. So, for me, when I talk about career now, based on what I know, the main thing is a long term pursuit. Long term pursuit. That's a key thing that stands now in my mind. Long term pursuit, which used to really not to be the case. And in terms of long term, when we talk about long term pursuit, is it all about just finances, money? Is it just about happiness? That's another thing. So there are so many elements when we talk about career that we may be looking into today, which is the reason we have this amazing topic. So as I said, guys, as you join in, if you want to join us on the screen, let us know you're welcome. If you don't want to show us your beautiful or handsome face, feel free to make yourself visible in the comment section. We, we still appreciate your input. So when we talk about career, I know if I ask everybody connected, are you act? What do you think? Do you think you're actually in your ID career? Are you actually in your ID career, like the niche? Because also when we talk about career, it could be so many things, but niche is specific. For example, you can be an artist, but what is your specific niche as an artist? So that's why you can see some people who are gospel artists, some people who are into acting. So they are different niche. And what type of movie do you act? What type of songs do you sing? Even if you're a gospel, what genre? So there are so many other factors. So based on these factors, that's what niche. So um I said for me, when I think about career, what comes to my mind is simply a long term pursuit. So what really and what are the factors that really influence this long term pursuit? You have passion, you have sense of fulfillment, and you have also time freedom and definitely priorities. So what influence every one of us as humans are long term pursuits. It goes a long way to deal with what's your passion, what are you passionate about, do you even have some passion? Because I know in this generation we are, it seems everything is just money, money. How much do you make? Even when the people ask you what do you do, they are basically asking you what do you do to make money. That is basically what we ask daily, and that's what I realized. So after I had, as I said, lately I've had like some reason to really sit back to see what I say and what I do. Is it really in that direction? So when a lot of time people talk about career, they limit it just to what you do for money. And I've come to realize lately that once we are talking just about money, it's about a job. So let's not mix it up. If you had that mindset before coming here, maybe start from there. So when you're talking, so because that's one difference between a job and a career. A job, earning is often the main driver. Earning, what's your earning? That is the main driver. But when it comes to your career, you're talking more about fulfillment. You're talking more about your purpose. You're talking more about your passion. And I love to sing. I love to dance. And tomorrow I look towards being this. That's not the direction of career. But what do I do? This is what I do for money. And I think a lot of time we've mixed these things so much that it seems the only thing we should be talking about is what we do to earn, the things we do for earnings, and in the things we do for earnings, also another thing I've realized that it's supposed to be like short term. Like your life is not supposed to be all about earning. But I've realized that many times people spend their entire active years for earnings. And so based on this, it has made me to really sit back and reflect, like, is this how it's supposed to be? Is there something different? And what causes it that we reduce maybe these are long-term pursuit? Because also the thing is, I've realized this, we may have this long-term pursuit, which is like the career goals and stuff, but we tend to reduce them to what the job goals without knowing sometimes, or the earning goals, what will help us to earn that those billions, which is good. It's not bad, but it is also a limitation. Happy weekend to everybody. I see you all active in the comment section, by the way, and happy to have my creative and independent minds back. I've not been seeing some people talking about. So that was about just trying to throw more light on what a career is. So how hope we all at least have some understanding of the difference between a career, so that when we proceed, we should not be some people should not be thinking about job but at the same time thinking they're talking about the career. No, there's a clear difference between a job and a career. And I just realized a lot of time when people are asking your career goals, but in their mind what they want you to respond or sometimes when we were asking people about their career goals, in our mind we expect them to give us a response related to their job specifically, because all we want to hear is how much do you earn. Like when people ask me, for example, lately now I'm so intentional about it. Like when people ask me this, what do you do? I tell them my career goals. They're like, how much do you actually make? What are you? So it goes straight to that. But when I just told them, okay, this is so. By the way, I give some, not all my career goals, of course. So I just give the ones I know. At least it answers your question, but I don't need to give you details. So hope every one of us is on the same page of what a career is. So let's talk now a little bit of what is a career niche. Are there some people to help me? Is there someone wants to help me to give some throw some light on what a career niche is? Do you happen to have pinned somebody? Jerry, unfortunately you have been pinned, but I have to unpin you though. Good. We got this sorted. So yes, I know I always have amazing people, mostly some people that have always taken it upon themselves to show up every time we have live session. I really appreciate you. So guys, let me see what when we talk about. I think I tried a little bit. I said something about it at the beginning. So let me see what when you talk about career niche, what can you say it is? Maybe in few words. I know some people are really good at reducing or summarizing things, and teachers are always good at giving simple explanations. So when we talk about, because that's the main thing we want to talk to, don't want to just talk about career goals, which I think is what a lot of times we talk about. We want to talk about niche, not just the career, but we want to be specific about our career niche. So to those, so as I said this time around, we're trying to make sure we are not too long. So what I got, for example, for a career niche. A career niche is simply a career that provide minimal competition, or you can say a career environment that provide minimal competition, professional and personal satisfying, and which is professionally and personally satisfying. It also has a strong market demand and helps you to or enables you to solve practical need, and it has a high profit demand. So when we talk about a niche, we want to look at, it is an environment that will be competing with everybody. You can come to realize in life that many times we thank you so much. See some powerful input in the comment section. What you find pleasure doing as a career. Okay, thank you, Emma, for that. So Emma said what you find pleasure doing as a career. as a career. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. So I was saying that okay, for what I gather with regards to a niche. So a niche should provide you in your career. As I said, a career, you can be an artistic person, but want to identify that particular um area, that that particular specialty. For example, you can be a medical, you can be in your health field, right? But you can realize that okay, this is my part of interest. Like fortunately, I was talking with amazing somebody today who is in the field of radiography, and I love so much the energy he has, and he's always in my live session. By the way, he's he and the work he's doing. So we're just talking about his specific interest really get before this topic, and that is just I'm going to use that as an example. So you may be in the medical field, you can be a nurse. As a nurse, there are still different areas or specialty, right, that you can choose to be in. So that could be your niche in terms of your job. That's job now. So but if also you can make it a career, a long term as a nurse, what do you want to do? What is your real pursuit? Because I think a lot of time when people talk about his niche, they still want to limit it in the thinking of a job, which today I want to be very intentional to not just limit you as a nurse, but as a nurse, I think it's not just showing up, doing what your employer tells you to do or the doctors tell you to do, but you want to also check beyond of this nurse, what can I do as a nurse? What can I do, and what area can I do? So that area, that field, that specialty is what your niche is all about. And in that area, trust me, if you identify the right niche, there will be less competition because maybe you'll be the only person doing what you're doing. And basically, that was what we found out after that conversation with that my amazing friend today. So in that niche, you may see you're the only person doing what you do. For example, I'm a scientist, and I remember when I started, like, okay, this entrepreneur, I'm a scientist, but I don't want to just do the traditional, go to the lab, do what they tell you to do. I want to be able to ask questions, have freedom of asking questions, create new things, invest in different things. So when I started that, I had a lot of people like, "You are not serious." But now I tried a lot of people who have followed my same path, like okay, they're scientists, but they want to do something different. They want to also have more freedom and do other things. So they asked me a couple of different questions now. So that just to say, and wherever you find yourself, if you have the right niche, there will be minimal competition because there may be few people who even understand what your goal is all about. There may be few people who understand how to do what you're doing. That is one of the things about the niche. So I said another thing talking about market demand. If you identify the right niche, you should be able to know that see that it's something that people definitely need, right? Like in one of our sessions this week, by the way, we always have a Thursday discussion where that is all about financial freedom, and I love the energy I always get there. And this week, one person that was Jerry, by the way, Jerry's connected. Jerry said something powerful. Like he said, like people who are in business, a lot of people just advertise on social media, or people just create content and they don't go to check the particular audience that need their content or the particular audience that need their material. That spoke to me too because I had to check back. Could that be one of them? So could that be one of them? So when he said that, that makes me to understand when you choose your niche, you also want to be very intentional about choosing that niche. It should not just be because you have passion in it, but also you want to check like, is this something that is needed in your market? That market could be where you are. That market could be where you want to advertise yourself. So we want to be very intentional about that. Is this something, for example, I know I'm an entrepreneur and there's so many business ideas I have, but I have to see them like, okay, in this field, is this one feasible at this time, at this moment, in this location? So there's some things I had to draw, by the way, some things that are very important, but I had to draw them like, for me personally, it's important, but at this moment, it's not. Personally, it's not. And it's just also how this thing release, like it's really a stress reliever. Once you identify your niche, you see you don't really stress unnecessarily on some things that other people will do stress on. Greetings, Dixon, and happy to have everyone connected. So we definitely should one thing that talking about niche, I think a lot of time we focus on our benefits, what we get, and that's why I think a lot of time we focus on the money part, because that's one of the things you get when you are doing something that it's of demand. If somebody is paying you, for example, as an IT specialist, it's because that service is in high demand. People need it. We are moving in fact, everything soon will be all about technology, if you like it or not. So if you have an idea and you can't bring it in this technological space, you may be wasting your time. You may be wasting your time, or that may not be resourceful in the next 1 or 2 years. They may not need you. So the fact that someone is rewarding you for something is because they need it. So if you are in the right niche, one thing is you will be solving something, you'll be solving a real time problem. And in identifying your niche or a niche, it's also important that we take these things that are elements that make up niche as some factors that we want to also put in charge. So it means we should be intentional about checking what do I want to solve as opposed to we always focusing how much will they give me. And for me, I've learned that that is the trick. For you to focus on a long-term goal, you have to identify what you bring in. For you to focus on how much you want to make, focus on the earnings. How much do they pay you? Eh? So that's something I definitely learned. So my question to everyone connected is: are you actually in your career niche? That was one of the questions I had to sit and I was blessed to say I had a very very good space this week. As I said, some things happen and you don't know why it happened. You know when you want to go left, and God just made something that you're going right without you thinking. You're going right, and a lot of times we resist when because you made your goals a week. Monday I'm doing this, Tuesday I'm doing this, and you're reaching to your me to those your plans. And if you are this person who say, God, show me the way, I tell this another blessing. If God say wait, wait, if God say move, move. Because you're going to learn things that you didn't even know you needed to learn. So are you in your career niche? That is a question. What not just saying yes or no, but what again taking time to reflect on. Are you in your career niche? Am I in my career niche? Is that question that is what not just like I think so, I know so, but really see it. Check back what the goals were. Check back what were the specific objectives were. Check how far you are. Are you thought? Are you away? Or you, in fact, did you abandon it somewhere along the way, and you're somewhere now where everybody's going? Because I know in this generation, I really pity children born in this generation. Unfortunately, I pity them so much, and I pray for them that may they have people that will guide them. Because some of us grew up in areas that you have people who know their purpose, they knew that they had their career goals. They, in fact, they focus on it. They had less distraction. But in that time, we have everything that we don't even want to see. We have updates, and sometimes you can have your own goals. You get up, you see that this is what one person posted, another person posted this, or this is what this one is doing, and I saw five other people doing this, and it's doing well, and bam, you've changed your direction. Your direction. It's not bad. It's not bad if it still leads you to your main goal. But what if it leads you totally away? That was one of the things that I had to stand on. I had to learn this week. That sometimes it's just one decision that takes us away from our destiny. One decision that make us to change that good plans that God had for us to the plan that now we have for ourselves. So are you in your career niche? The second question, or the next question, what is that niche? Do you even know the niche? Because it's easy to say yes or no, but the question, do you actually know the niche? So even if you say today you want to become a content creator now, or you want to become an artist, you have to be able to sit down to identify your niche. So I'm talking to everybody now. You may be already 50 years old, you didn't know your niche. It's not late to sit back and reflect like what is actually my niche. Maybe you've been focusing about your job, what pays you, and you didn't have that time to really think about, check about your passion. We all always do well when it has to do with our passions and natural talents. Once we keep working on them, we will always do well. But I've realized that a lot of times also we focus on the just the things we've acquired, the skills. And one thing I learned around 2016, which I'm very very happy in, I saw a quote somewhere that says, if you want to do well, exceedingly well, sometimes forget that you have certificates, forget about the certificates, and sit back and ask yourself, what can I offer? So to me, that really is something that resonates with me every day. I try to practice that. I try that each day I get up, my goal is not really just what do I earn, what do I get, but it's what can I offer, what can I do, and trust me, there's so much peace in doing what you like to do. So I don't know. It's just like when you those who like praise and worship. There's some peace that you get just praise, no matter what is happening. You just like get so much at peace, which I can't explain it with words. So it's just the something when you're doing what, like if you're an artist, you really like what you're doing. Trust me, even when there's no money, you want to do it. Even if you have to use your last money, like work some, do a job to have more time to do that, you will want to do it. So it's very important we identify that niche that enables us to not just make use of our skills, but acquire skills, but also make use of our natural talents and gifts. So, as a creative, it's not just about how much you make as a content creator, which is what a lot of people I see. A lot of people ask me, "Oh, you do content? How much are you making?" And I'm like, "Why is it always how much? How much?" Ask me something like, "You don't ask me how do you create your video? How do you create time?" I don't have time even today. I struggle to get up and show up here. Nobody cares about that. Well, let me say few people. Let me say nobody. That people cares, by the way. So, guys, there's a work to put in. That work, if you don't like it, it's going to be at the stress. If you just do something for money, it's going to be a burden you've added on yourself. But if you try to create in some passion, do something that also is in line. Because, for example, I ask people, if we all in this generation are blessed with so many options, but trust me, it's not always easy. But we have to make the choice, and that choice is going to be on some factors, some important factors. So, by the way, if you join and you've not yet shared this video, it's that time. You share to at least 5 people or 5 groups. In fact, at least don't be selfish. You come and listen, you like what this girl say, you like the session, and you want to just listen and take all the information to yourself. No, that's not how we do it. That's not how creative and independent minds do. You can't have a light and decide to switch off the light because you don't want other people to use it. Sharing costs nothing. So please, everybody, let's do the due diligence of making sure that we save 1 or 2 persons from the next things I'm going to say. The next mistake that some of us have already made, some of us are making, or some of us are still in survival mode. Because in life, there are some points that we do things for survival. That's what happens. But don't once your survival mode becomes a permanent mode, that's where there's a problem. And unfortunately, that's where some of us have found ourselves. There are things that we were supposed to do temporarily, some things we are supposed to do temporarily. But of course, sometimes they say when you get into the temporary things, you may not get out of it. So there are some things you do, some decisions you make that you can't get yourself out of that decision. You're in for life. So unfortunately, so this is that moment that we make sure we show into as many persons. I said at least 5, but why not share children at least 10? You can multiply it, right? So hopefully that we all are on the same page with regards to a niche. And by the way, I know that people who are good with summarizing definitions. So you can help me in the comment section, put a summary of what, for maybe what I've said or what you know or what you gathered or what you research of what a career niche is and what a career is. So those two things importantly. And the third thing maybe the difference between a career and a job, because I think a lot of times we focus so much on just the things we do for money. We focus so much just on the money. Of course, we have to pay the bills, but let your needs not take you away from your purpose. Never. So I know some people will be like, how do I find this career niche? Which is basically one of the conversation I had this morning. How do I find this career niche? If you're coming and thinking that I know everything, then you're making a mistake. I'm still a human being. So I'm still a work in progress like you. So, but together we can put our heads together and see what is there that we can make use of. So, guys, how can we, if we all have understood how what a career niche is, what do you think are some steps to how we can find a career niche? So, let me say, you have a younger brother who can or come to you and say, "Oh, Lucy, I don't even know really what I want to become. I don't even know what to plan on. I don't know what career to pursue. People are saying this, they're saying left, they're saying do IT, they're saying do go to healthcare, healthcare pays, IT pays. So Lucy, what do you tell me to do? What will you advise me to do? So guys, assume it's Lucy talking to you. What will you tell me? I just moved to America and trust me, it's like starting all over from scratch. And I don't know, I'm not sure about what career path to follow. And people are saying that IT pays well, and also healthcare field pays well. And people are saying like go and have some PhD. Also, it's a good way to secure a job. And people are saying that learn a trade. So what do you advise me? What would be your advice? There's nobody to advise me. These powerful people connected. Oh, I just moved to UAE and things are not going the way I thought. It's not as I expected, but also I want to at least make sure I'm working on my career. But I have some mixer on what career path to follow. So, what do you advise me? How do I go about choosing that career niche? I know at this point some people are like, Lucy, just share with us. But again, disclaimer, Lucy is not your, it's not God. So I will always start by telling people that despite the fact that we like to be light, we like people to tell the sweet things, the things that are working immediately that are valid now. I will start by saying that we all as humans have individual purposes, which is something I know people choose not to talk about. They want to talk more about money first, but I'll start from there. We all as humans have individual purposes and journeys, and your journey is unique to mine. Always have that in mind. And what first of all I've discovered is this: before we use equipment in our house, what do we do? When you buy a new TV, what is the first thing you do, guys? Let's start with TV. If I go to what I have to say, when you buy a TV, before you start using that TV, what do you do first? What is the first thing you do? Or you bought a new laptop, let me say you bought laptop from Dell or Apple, a laptop you've never used before, what will be the first thing you're going to do? So I had some inputs coming. I'm happy to have everyone, happy to have you guys connected. So what will be the first thing you will do, guys? I see great people connected, so guys, let's share. You just bought, let me say, bought a new laptop or a new TV. It's a TV brand you've never used before. What would be the first thing? Check out the features. Okay, or just say check read the directive. Thank you. So I've had the two things I wanted to get. Read the directives and the future. Your TV may not be the same with my TV. Your laptop, we may have Dell laptops. My laptop may be Dell just as yours, but the features may not be the same. So definitely every wise person will go back to that manual and check what is this laptop all about? What is specific about this laptop? How do I do this with this laptop? It's not just how do people do it. That is a mistake I think a lot of times we do. A lot of times we want to first of all check what people are doing, mostly in this time. What is working for people, what other people have done, without understanding that the first thing is to check your own specific manual. So let's go back to career and purpose. The first thing is always to check what specifically you can do, what specifically you were created to do. How many of us can say we do this all the time? We often do this in every decision we make when it concerns our career. So having understood this, that we all are unique and we have different skills. What I do easily may not be what you'll be able to do easily. What I have naturally in me may not be what you have naturally in you. You may have some things I don't have, and yours, of course. Everybody, I want to say this clearly before we go to some other specific things that we can do. Every person here has something unique that once you market it properly to the right audience, it will give you money. But a lot of time we don't do that. We do what other people are already doing, and now we put ourselves in that high. Remember one thing about your niche, there will be less competition. When you see yourself applying for a job that 10,000 people have applied, that is already showing that there's high competition in that environment, correct? If you're going to driving on the lane that everybody, there are some people going front, there are some people coming in your opposite direction, that is a signal that you're possibly in the wrong lane. So a lot of times we have put ourselves in the lanes that we are not supposed to be there in the first place, then are asking God on directions on that lane. So in essence, I want to encourage us to practice to follow the right steps. And that right step is, if you're this person at any point you feel like you have to ask God now. Ask God at the beginning before you start choosing the career. God, show me what you want me to do. God, show me. That is something I've learned, by the way, the hard way. The hard way. We always like, oh, I'm good in this, this is what I want to do. This is what pures me. But sometimes that's not even where God wants you to go. And at the end of the day, you will see yourself strong. You're successful, but you're not happy. Happiness is not both. Yes, we always say happiness is a choice. Let me explain. It's a choice because we always have choices to make each day. You have the choice to go left or go right. So when you're driving the road, we have choice to choose different lanes right on driving, but your lane will always be dependent on the direction you're going to. None of us will choose a lane based on where majority of the cars are going when you're driving. But when it comes to driving your own life, choosing your own career, is that what we do? Do we choose a career lane based on the destination we want to be, or we choose it based on where majority are going? So think about it and tell me. So some of the steps, by the way, now that we can really sit down to follow in order to get the career niche. First, as I said, I checked and I didn't see anyone that say put God first, but I would say put God first. Whoever is that greater energy, whoever created you, whoever sent you on earth, whoever is keeping you on earth, go to that person first and ask the person, who am I? Because if you don't know yourself, at the end of the day, you keep being 10 persons and not never you. At the end of the day, you try to do what other people are doing, and it'll be more difficult for you. That's not the truth. Once you're trying to do what other people are doing, just what other people are doing without identifying who you are, that makes life a little more harder. So first, have a relationship with God. Have a relationship with the one you look above, the one you know knows it better than you, whoever, whatever energy. But I say God. Number two, sit down and identify the skills, the passion, your your gift. So after you have that relationship with God, and the truth is, once you identify yourself, you see how greatly you are, how powerful you are, how unique you are. Many times, many of us don't know that we are so unique, we are blessed. We have limited ourselves based on what people have told us, and it's sad. It's so sad. So we all are unique. We all are blessed in different ways. Once you're able to know your true self, sit back down to check what passion do you have, what do you have passion in doing, what are skills do you have, what skills can you acquire, what are your natural gifts. Because I also believe once you identify the things that you can do naturally without stress, trust me, you will know the things to invest on. And that is something I'm grateful I learned early. Like once I learned, I had an opportunity to attend a career empowering event. So one thing I learned about that is like normally when we are going to school, it should be based on your career. But how many of us go to school based on our career? Many of us go to school based on what people say. You know, if you're typically from the continent I come from, that blessed continent, that unique, amazing continent, where a lot of time people want you to say they want the titles, the doctor, the engineer, the lawyers. So they want that is what they tell us to do. But sometimes you have more passion and you have skills, raw skills in a different industry, in a different career direction, nothing to do with engineering, nothing to do with medicine, nothing to do with law. You are just in that opposite direction, which is not a bad direction, but that is also, I'm just saying that don't shun, don't fail to sit down to check those skills because of people's opinion is very important. Check them, sit down, write them down. Don't just think about them, but write them down. After you do that, another thing you can definitely do is search the niche market, keywords to work with it. So for example, you can say, okay, I want to be a medical doctor. Sweethearts, there are so many types, there are so many specialty, what specifically. And now that's where you can check, okay, this one the one, is it paying? Is it what doing? Do they even need it? What problem does it solve? Do we even need it in this time? Like, are there people suffering of these stuff like that? So because if you choose, for example, to specialize in an area that is not of any use or something that is just a short-term situation, that means you've already limited your lifespan, your career lifespan. So that's why once we are able to know our skills, the next thing we want to always do is at least we have Google in our generation. That's where Google should come in. But a lot of time we start by googling and asking people before, and sometimes not even searching our own age. So next thing is write down the search and narrow the search. Now, okay, let's say you've had amazing list of areas you can specialize in, areas, things you can do. What is that next thing you want to do? You want to choose some specific ones, right? And now start searching on those specific ones, dig more. How many of us typically do these things when it comes to a career? How many of us are actively doing this? Because I think the wild option many of us do is we don't even ask God in the first place. We don't check our skills and our talents, our passion. No, we just first, what can I do? As I said, sometimes there are things we do for survival because yes, I just moved to the US, things are difficult now. I need something at least to start paying my bills. That is understandable, right? But when that's something we want to do for the moment to pay your bills becomes your lifetime thing without you thinking, just because at least that's what is paying the bills. That's why I think we should question ourselves like, are you in your right niche? If it is, then fine. But it's good to ask this question rather than I see people every day do something they don't like. They complain, but they are not taking a step to move away from what they are complaining about. I'm like, how? That's what I don't understand. You don't like what you're doing, you're not comfortable what you're doing, but you are still there every day. 1 year passes, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years. How do we do it? So I am challenging us to learn to thank you, bro, my brother Elvis, for joining. So I encourage us indeed, like we should learn to follow step because indeed in life you cannot run more than your shadow. We can't run more than your shadow, and any road you take, of course, has a destination, right? If you take a plane going to Dubai, how do you expect to land in America, brothers and sisters? So every day, whatever path you take, whatever decision you make, there's a consequence. That is something, by the way, this is my mom's birth month. This is something I celebrate my mom every day for. She always made us understand that whatever you do, don't just focus on how you feel about it. No, there is a consequence. If you did something that wants you to be beaten, you'll be beaten. That was simple. Even if you go and come back, you're going to be beaten. If you do something that wants you to have a gift, you are going to receive your gift. So whatever decision we make or choice we make, let's know there are consequences, and they may be immediate, they may be short term. So you want also to be intentional to know, oh, is it just about the short term consequence or the long term? What consequences? Because of course, it doesn't matter. It will matter. So the next thing after we've narrowed our search to maybe the specific area, do you already see that it's already leading us to a specific niche, and as opposed to the general, this is my career, I am an artist, and it ends and no, what specific, I'm a no, no, what specifically, what type of content do you create? I'll give an example with me. I had really a lot of challenge like coming to media space, and I've been having message like for people calling me to explain things, or it's not a new thing, or me being in a situation. I remember when I was in secondary school, if something happened in my class, they always like the DM was always like, whatever she says is correct. And that time that I know that I wasn't even in class when that happened. And I was not going to report myself. But I have to still say something in between to what I know about the personalities of the persons. And of course, I wasn't there. And the people had the choice to say she wasn't the one when it happened, though you're asking her. But they always sat quiet. And I was like, why? So that's just to say sometimes there are some things that we do naturally that we could pick from, and that makes us different. And for me, coming to talk is like there are a lot of people making noise. I don't want to make noise or getting up and talking about other people's business. It doesn't concern me, and it's not something I've ever had fun or somebody coming to waste time talking about another person on something that doesn't concern me. So I'm like, talking where? What? So sitting back to see that, okay, just using maybe what you know about this particular topic. So that's why I say I have a niche. It's about most of the time it's going to be about mindset, things related to our purpose. It's not going to be about who is divorcing who is getting married to who. It doesn't concern me. It doesn't really concern me. That's just a niche. That even if you say you are going to be an artist, you have to choose. I want to sing gospel song, or I want to sing song concerning this or that. There should be a niche. That's what I believe. There should be a niche. Yes, you can diversify in your niche, importantly, but there should be a niche. And once you're able to do those narrow research to see what are the different types, it takes us to the next thing we want to check. So define your target and audience. Choose your niche. Define your target and audience. I personally know that not everybody likes me, and it's fine by me. I also know that not everybody like topics like this, which is okay. So that makes me to know who needs what I'm saying. And are there people who need it? Yes, of course. So that goes to everybody, whatever career you're doing. I think we mostly with this generation, we are more too oriented with what people see, how people feel, how they read it. How do people have to do with your peace of mind? So just to summarize the key things I said on the steps, which personally is something I am grateful to know, which I try to apply, and it really helps me as opposed to me just get up and follow what is easy at the moment. Because sometimes what is easy at the moment is taking you to an opposite direction, which is something I'm going to say in a few minutes. What is easy at the moment. So first thing for how to find your niche, just in case you join on, I took a lot of time to explain the details. I want to make it easy. First, you want to have a relationship with your creator or God. Second, you want to understand yourself. Understanding yourself means sitting down to identify your skills, your passions, your talents, all those things like that. Identify things that you can do easily, your weaknesses, your strength. Second thing, you want to do a search about the niche market, keywords. You want to search on particular things related to that area in which you may have chosen to, based on your skills, based on your personality, based on other things you've searched about yourself. And the next, you want to definitely narrow that search. You may have, for example, you've after you've done your search, you've seen, okay, um music. And music is not one thing. Music can be instrumental, music can be different things. So what particular type of music? And music could be secular music, it could be classical, it could be contemporary, it could be different type of things. So what particular? So the next thing is narrow the search. And the last point I just shared was identify your target audience and choose your niche. So once you're able to do those things, these steps, how many of us, by the way, have tried to use this type of, maybe not exactly the same thing, but have tried to implement stuff like this in choosing a career niche? How many of us, is there any person, and maybe if there's something I left out or something that is key, can we all feel free to share in the comment section? Yeah, so for me, definitely that's what works for me. Able to sit back and in all these steps, one thing I've learned this week, I said I've learned a lot of lessons this week because I had so many opportunity to make really long term decisions. Decisions that are not just meant for temporal stuff, but long term. And because of these long term decisions I had to make, of course, the options may not be immediately favorable. So I had to learn to silence the noise, which is something I think is very important in this generation. I saw somebody make a post that if you think you need to block every person to have time for you, do it. It's very important because sometimes I don't think we talk much about how important reflection and meditation are to us choosing that career or being focused in that career. But it's something that I've learned is really, really important, like meditation and reflection. And you don't want to be meditating or reflecting where there's noise. You want to meditate and reflect where you can even hear yourself. If you're not hearing God, at least hear yourself. So you want to be in those positions. Those are the positions that for me really takes us to knowing more about who we are, things that we are not yet seeing about ourselves, things that we don't yet know about ourselves, things that we have done and even forgot, things that lessons that sometimes I will do some things that help want us to learn some lessons that we should not repeat or be in where we are. But because life happens and you just forget and you find yourself in that same position that we had been before. So those were some of the steps that I had and steps that I use on daily basis that really helped me as a person, as an individual, which I know and I believe it can help other people. So hopefully that we all now understand the difference between a career niche and a job niche. So based on that, I realized I was asking that why will some people have, for example, I see a lot of people who have what they're doing now. They don't like it. They don't like it. I don't know if I mean of us see people like that. You know what you're in somewhere, you're doing what you're doing, you don't like it. It's difficult for you. First thing you don't like, you don't really like it, not something you really have passion for doing it. The second thing is really stressing you out. The third thing is it does not give you time for the things you really want. But you are still doing the same thing for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and having complaints every morning. So what do we think causes that? I think it's just because we focus on what we get at the moment, which is something I realize. A lot of time people focus on the job more than the career. And what is the reason? I had two options this early this week. That's when I had to learn. And that's why I say for me as a person, content creation is not something I really struggle with. The reason because by the grace of God, choosing the needs I chose in this content direction, not to base on what is happening or what is not happening, but words that talk to me as a person and words that I believe helped me. And I just basically I'm talking to myself. So it's because like after this topic, we had it maybe since about 2 weeks ago, but this week, for me coming to talk about niche, I had to make some very, very important decisions. And I found myself in a position that I had two options. Two options. One option is something I could get immediately. And of course, I was going to have immediate comfort, like happy at that moment. But in the long run, I was going to lose the main thing I wanted. So it was like either I get this immediate thing, which is available at the moment and is giving me comfort at the moment, all the things I want at the moment, or I had to go through a process of maybe 1 week or more to get what I really wanted. And of course, that 1 week or more was not planned, which means I may have to wait, I may have to spend more, I may have to do other things to get that to that point or wait for that 1 week. And that's where it's talked to my mind that I see it now. That sometimes the reason why we take the road to the career niche that we is not even in line with our passion, is not in line with the skills we already have, the talents we have, is because of the comfort we have immediately. How many of us agree to this? Like the reason we choose to be in the wrong career niche, we know the right things to do. I said the theory, we all are going to say it loud. Choose this, check, Google search, but is that what we do? No. So I just realized that comfort is that word. The word is comfort. That distractor is not the people, it's not things that are happening, it's not how, it's just that comfort, that feeling of good at that moment, how we feel at that moment is a big, it's good to have comfort, but comfort, I'm telling you today that it is a distractor, which I didn't know till this week. It's only this week that I understood that. I understand why motivational speakers always say the things you're looking for is on the outside of above when you leave your comfort zone. I understand it now because that comfort, that wanting to be comfort cannot, you cannot be fulfilling purpose while wanting to be comfort. Just imagine that Jesus comfortable. Imagine Jesus Christ, for example, that we all celebrate so much. Oh, I see people say I celebrate this, I don't. We celebrate Jesus. Jesus is the most celebrated person on earth, whoever lived on earth. So imagine him reaching that point that he knows that he was going to be killed. They're going to do all what they had to do on him and say, "Oh, I'm not comfortable about this happening on my body." Of course, no human being will be comfortable that you're going to be killed, or people are going to mock at you, people are going to spit on you, people are going to insult you. No human being, not even me. So Jesus, of course, had to choose purpose, the reason why he had to go over the comfort. And it's not an easy choice. Trust me, guys, it is never an easy choice to make. It's a difficult choice, and that's why many people don't make it. And so that's why many people make these common mistakes when it comes to career. Some common mistakes that a lot of us make, and maybe you're making it now, or maybe you're already thinking of making it. You can choose your job. I'm talking about career just to lay emphasis again. You can change from one job to the other, but career, remember, is long term, it's not short term. Common mistakes that a lot of people make, we make long term decisions based on short term opinions or feelings. Based on how we feel now, it has made a lot of us to put ourselves in holes that now we are praying, God, come and save me. God, I need a help. How you feel about wedding have made some people to make long marriage choices. How you feel about being single has made some people get married when they are not ready. So just I could relate it to so many things. So you can do it the same thing. How this comfort, this immediate comfort, has made many of us to be in holes, in depression, in situations. Some people have even cried when they are not supposed to. So one of the common mistakes I see and which a lot of us may be making is We make long-term decision like a career decision based on the short-term results, short-term feelings, short-term opinions, which is dangerous. Second mistake, we focus so much just on money or our personal benefits without checking on how what we can offer and the long-term goals. Yes, this thing may be giving you money, but how can you grow in it? What can you do with it? How can you bless other people? How can you impact people? How can you create generational wealth from this? How can you use this to bless yourself, to empower yourself? And sometimes what we don't think. And I believe in every field that there are always more room for expansion. Always. But once you focus on just how much you're being bribed, you don't think that you can even own that same company yourself. Unfortunately, that is a trap. If you're so comfortable in what somebody gives you, that is a bribe to forget that you too can own something like that. So one mistake people really make, or a lot of people make, is focusing just on money and personal benefits. Like, oh, this is what I get, this is what they give me, but you don't know what can I give, because once you give, see of, let me give an example. If you're an artist and you focus on how much your record label is paying you, that is a trap. You may never grow. If you're an actor, you check just how much they pay you for a movie role. Trust me, you won't grow. But if you're an actor, you check like, oh, with this my talents, how can I use it to bless not just my people? How can I use it to bless more people? Trust me, that is when now the real career building starts. It's beyond just waiting for someone to call you to say, oh, come, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. It's beyond, it's more of you checking on how what people are being bored and I'm a comedian. How can I use this? So that is what it is. So focusing on immediate results and gratification is a big distractor. How many of us have found ourselves in this situation that we forgot about our dreams, we forgot about our goal? Maybe let me give an example. Like they can send you, let me say for example, you told your parents you wanted to go to school, which is what I saw with a lot of people or young people staying in Boya when I was in Boya. Like the people who told their parents that they wanted to go to school, they wanted to do one or two programs or a certain program, and they went now to this environment of school and they saw that there were a lot of people that they were clubbing every night, they were not attending classes, all they were doing is having time, fun time without work time. So they end up at one point being dropped out. What was the reason? Because they were having some pleasure at that moment, but they didn't ask themselves that what happened if my father or mother realized after 1 year that I'm not going to school, what will happen to me? What happened if I never graduate from this program? I never have something to do. I never have a BSc, which is the reason that some people today don't even have degrees. Not because, oh, school is a scam, as some people say. School is not a scam because there are some things you do in life, some doors you will enter based on the things, opportunities you had in the past. Personally, there are some programs I finally saw myself doing, which I never planned before. But what helped me go through those programs is because of some studies I had years back. Practically, I did a training on a vocational training on leadership, and in that leadership, I was taught the basics of web designing. I was That's when I had also a training on career, family planning. But fast forward on the graduation day of that training, because by the grace of God I did so well. And when they give me my award, they were like, if you take this training like this and you go after 1 year, you don't start a business, you have wasted that. And they didn't tell me if you take this and you don't start a job. They said business. So at that moment, I had no business idea in my mind. No business idea. The only thing that could help me come out with a business idea was that I was from doing biotechnology. So I went out to the list, this flyer they give for you to advertise a program. So when I check what can a biotechnologist do, That is how I got a business idea. That particular flyer helped me. So remember, I have this challenge like if you don't do a business, what you've done here, you've wasted your time. It's not like if you don't meet people or if you don't go to church. To me, when something will play in my head, it means something that I have to do. So I spent 1 year thinking about that those points that were on that flyer, the things you can do after doing biotech. And the one thing is sales of biotechnology products. Or so when I got that particular sales, I was like, what type of biotechnological products I can sell? I started digging. I found myself on food supplements produced by nanotech. Yes, after, because I had done that research on food supplements, and through that I understood about antioxidants. I had an opportunity to study somewhere that I had to study antioxidants in food. My research was all about antioxidants. Did I plan it? No. Did I see coming in the next 4 or 5 years? No. So while I was doing that research and doing that business in supplying food supplements, I was preparing myself for the next stop that God had for me. So that is just to encourage whoever is standing, wherever you're standing, that every opportunity we have, sometime is to prepare for what is in front, not what you're seeing now. Which, as I said, a lot of us get distracted because of what we are feeling now, what we get now. Which it's a valid feeling, but sometimes it is a distraction. Sometimes it is a very big distraction. Also, like if you focus on a media result, like let me say for example, if I just focus on how much money do I get, maybe at that moment immediately may not be giving me much money. If you're a business person, tell yourself the truth. Like in business, there are skills that, like, okay, let me give again myself as an example. Me leaving to say, okay, I'm doing biotech at this moment, but I want to also be involved in the business part of it. Sweetheart, I didn't have business skills. I didn't even know how to talk to people. Not to talk of knowing who needs what. Not to talk of marketing anything. I didn't know it. So it was more of a learning process for me, and it's still a learning process. So every day I get to have to learn about how to prospect, how to keep a good customer relationship. This don't come automatically. How to talk in public, how to present yourself. Man, it's not so. Immediately at that time, if I focus on how much do I get, the result, trust me, it is a big source of discouragement. That's how you can discourage yourself. You may have a big idea, you may have identified your career niche, but if you focus on how much do I get in 1 week, in 2 days, in 2 months, that's what a lot of times I see people ask, and I just know where the type of mindset you have. So if you want to achieve long-term goals, don't fall in this common mistake of focusing on the immediate result. It is a mistake. Some people may not know or may not admit it is a big mistake. That's what limits you. For example, if you see somebody being an employee for 20 years, 4 years, this is a mistake. Some people may not know this is that one mistake. Focusing on how much am I getting in 1 month, in 2 months, in one. How much will I get in 2 years, in 3 years, doing this thing, working on this idea? That is what people who have a right growth mindset talk about. What if I dedicate my time and I get this case? How can I build that? This is giving me one. Like last year, we talked. Last week, rather, we talked about you dreaming big. Some people are afraid to dream big. You cannot just be dreaming on making $100,000 every year. That is a limitation. You may not be making $1,000 now, but that does that stop, or should that stop you from dreaming on how to make 1 million? So some of us have just quenched our dreaming potentials because of the results we are getting now. Thank you so much, Bob, for joining us here. So yes, guys, those are some of the mistakes that we make. Mistake of making long-term decision based on short-term opinions. Mistake of focusing on just on money, which may be good, may be sweet, but when you're 70, you know how dull this is. When you're 70, you don't need to wait when you turn 70 years to understand what I'm saying. So And another thing, as I said earlier, one big mistake, which I said I learned this one this week by myself, being in this position that yes, Lucy, take you can take this and it's faster, you will have it immediately, or you wait for this. And I sat, that's why I asked myself that should that's why the word purpose versus comfort came to my mind. So I'm like, okay, so I left this place. This is what I wanted. And I come to this place. They say, no, we can't give you this. So that's why even I learned, even like when you're going out, you need to have your own goals. That's why you need to know yourself first. You need to know what God has told you before you start googling. So if you start by googling and asking opinion, that is a big mistake, by the way. That's a big mistake. If you're before you make every decision when you get up or you what you do is based on what 500 people have said or what it's trending, you're making a big mistake for real. You don't need to get to 40 years and start knowing how big that mistake is. So those are some of the mistakes I just realized. And by the way, it's good I say thank God for His grace. Thank God for this particular message for me as a person. I think being in a creative space, not just as a content creator, but also as a business person, as an entrepreneur, is the grace of having ideas and the courage to work on that idea. And it's a blessing to see that okay, the idea you're working on is producing the result with time, which is a blessing. I don't know how many people that for example, one thing I like so much, I love so much about being in a creative space and being purpose driven is that ability to work on things you believe in as opposed to just work on things that you have to do for survival. And I've realized that once you're able to do that, that brings true freedom, true happiness. You don't search for happiness because sometimes we are addicted looking for happiness, addicted feeling that oh, I need to take alcohol before I need to take these, I need to go to the before I'm happy. No, happiness should be that feeling that genuinely, you know, when somebody tell you something good, you have a feeling that you get. Like just imagine you are very stressed and you need food and you can't cook and somebody just say oh, I just ordered you this food, which I had like I wrote an exam and because I don't eat all type of food, I'm from everywhere. So I had a particular place at that moment. I was in school that I was eating from. And before I finished writing my exam that particular day, food was finished. But I have senior students that I didn't even know they care about me that much, and they noticed that attitude that my hair like that she doesn't eat anything. They noticed that. So by the time I was getting to my place of rest, this senior student called me, oh, I kept you this food because I knew like the way these students would buy, I knew it was going to get finished and I know your exam was not going to. I was just like the peace I had in me was just whew. So peace is sometimes it's not about us searching for it. The things you do, the people you connect with can definitely bring that happiness. So I hope we all had something to take home from this session of today. Know your niche and stay focused. The truth is, many of us fail to remind ourselves that every woman in labor have that choice to focus on the pain of the labor pain or the joy of holding the baby. You don't need to give birth to a baby, then you understand what I'm saying. You don't need to be pregnant. You don't need to be a woman to understand this. Because we, this generation, we're so blessed to have this information available for us, right? So once a woman is in labor, there's a pain that increases as the baby is approaching. And that pain can be explained in my mother's words, can't be explained in words. So that pain is just like something that you don't know how to describe. But you have the choice to give up because of that pain and say, oh, just give me this. Just so that's why the doctors are giving you, oh, you can take epidural. there's C-section, you can do this. You still have, still in that pain, to still make a choice, or to say, oh God, I can't do it, or to say, I will do what it takes till I see my baby's face. That is how I believe we all are impregnated with vision. We all are impregnated with gifts, with talents, with goals, that we have to make the right career choice so that it can bring forth that which we were meant to bring. Everyone on earth is not just on earth to work and pay bills. You're on earth definitely to bring forth something that only you can bring forth. But either you've given up because of the challenges on the way, or you've given up because the result did not come immediately as you expected. Maybe the baby took 5 days instead of one day, maybe 3 days, maybe 5 hours, and you're expecting it to take just 2 hours. Maybe the pain was just so unbearable. So, guys, we all indeed have choices each day to make sure we focus on bringing for that which has been planted in us, or to give up based on the immediate results we get or the comfort. Remembering that it is not just about speaking out what we want, but getting up each day and acting based on what you want. So we all are challenged indeed to go this day choosing to walk, choosing to act based on what we want and not just how we feel or the results we get immediately. And definitely, I know there'll be people that are sometimes or in future they'll be grateful that, oh, I'm happy she shared this. And that's another benefit. There are so many benefits, by the way, when you're in the right career niche that I know I can't list also. By the way, you guys, for those who have been in the right career niche and I'm happy in it, share with us what you love about that your career niche. For those who just learned about this career niche of a thing today, let us know what was your take-home message from this. For those who had changed your path and are just redirecting themselves now, let's know again what reminder did you have from this message. And going home, I would say sometimes the people we keep around are really the distractors. Sometimes the environment will quench us. If you're in this environment that everybody is doing Z and you want to do A, that automatically is a big distractor. So you may need to change your environment, even if you don't like it, even if it's not comfortable, even if it's stressful at the moment. That may be a big requirement for you. Because being in the right niche, it's about creating impact. And trust me, impact is not like if you walk on the streets of US and you see the number of streets named after Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I'm not sure he paid for that, but because he created an impact in looking what he can solve and who need it and being in the right environment, even if he was not comfortable. That's what you can also do. You can create generational impact and not impact for 2 days. Oh, his song is the top, and after 2 years, who cares about that song? Nobody. Oh, he's a trending person at this moment. Yes, you may be trending now, you may be making millions now, but who really cares about that trend in 2 years' time? So you can be intentional about let me see, someone is asked. So I will just send it below. Send me your WhatsApp number. I think you changed your WhatsApp number. I don't have a new one. So I just send the link to you. Oh, I know. By the way, every person who's connected may have that link to join, but I sent it because of somebody who commented in. So, boy, yeah, I've sent a link. So, yes, guys, I hope we all have something to take home today. And I have someone who knows how to keep me longer, who wants to keep me longer. So, as I always say, the only way you can keep me longer is ask a question or maybe if you have something to add to the topic. So, thank you so much for everybody who have joined. Remember, we are here every Saturday and share with us again what you took as take, take home message from this video, and feel free to, if you have some topics you want us to discuss on, feel free to share with us. So I have a great mind who wants to add his voice to this topic, so I'm going to give him that opportunity to share with us. Okay. Hopefully he has seen the link. So you see, I'm trying to see if I could send him a direct message, but it's not going. But I think he should see the link. So, but let me know if you're connecting or if you've seen the link. I'm just waiting on you. So, guys, if you also have any question with regards to this topic or maybe any of our previous topic, always feel free to ask. We are here to share. We all learn from each other. And to me, I always say thank you for those who ask questions because you always push me to go and dig more. But last week, somebody asked a question about procrastination. I found myself last week digging more about procrastination. so, so whenever you ask a question, know you're encouraging me to know more, to dig more, to find more. Because I always assume I don't know it all, and things change every day. Maybe there's an update in regards to that aspect. Maybe somebody just did a new research that oh procrastination is not what we thought or career is not what we thought last year. Now a career is totally different. Career must not be the one that has to be in person as people. I remember this is, by the way, this is about how many years I've been doing this talking of a thing. It's about a ticket almost. Wow. Well, but not on media space. It's just like me just having time to share on different topics. One of it used to be regards to mindset. Talk a lot about how to fire bad bosses because I don't see a need why you stay with the boss that is so annoying, it's mean, and you're having depression to the extent that some people have hypertension. When the money you make from that job is not even able to pay your bills for 2 months. So you have to definitely plan. That just takes a long time. Why I used to see people going up in that situation, and the more I studied, the more I did, the more I knew that people could do better. It's just like that courage to know that you can do better and also self awareness. Oh, maybe it's better I start even selling peanut on the road. And this peanut, if I sell one peanut and he give me a one whatever quantity of peanut, they give me this amount, I can just look for a way to sell it in a better way. And so that's why I believe in than being somewhere that you are not well treated, you are not well paid, you don't have time for the people you love, you don't have time to do what you really want to do. There's no need. Okay, let me see if he has this on WhatsApp. That's if he came back on WhatsApp. No, he's not WhatsApp. Well, I don't know what's happening, so we are maybe going to stop in a few seconds. Just give him about should I say 45 seconds or 1 minute? So guys, how many minutes should I give him? Yeah, he's a great mind. I like him though. I like his concept. I always tell him that he's fearless. He, as I said, in social media space or in the market space, I call social media a market because that's for me. That's mainly what it is. It is a market that people have different gifts, different products, services they are offering. So either you're coming as a consumer, you're coming as a producer, you're coming and just, people go to the market and just look what they can look and go back, don't buy anything. So maybe you're still a visitor. So the people are just visitors on social media, the people on work, they're at work when they're in social media. So based on that, people have different products and sell, different services, different things. So he's one of the content creator who is okay. I have him here.
Sorry, I was struggling to accept your request.
Yeah, good day, bro. We are so happy to have you around. It's been some minutes, some time.
Yes, yeah. Sorry, I was struggling to see how I could accept your request through the link you sent since I no longer
Mhm.
have you on WhatsApp.
Yeah, I'll definitely need. You see me change your
But can
WhatsApp
you
now.
hear me very well?
Yes, I can hear you. Please, I hope every other person connected can hear him
Yeah.
too. Well, bro, do you know I didn't even know you're from my tribe.
Seriously?
I didn't know. Maybe you thought I knew. I didn't know. So, well,
Oh,
it's
so
a blessing having
how did you
you.
find out my video?
Yes, I watched one of your video of recent though, where you said
Okay,
something about.
yeah, okay, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah.
A lot of people didn't know that I'm from Bayangi, a major precisely, a major subdivision.
Oh, you're from a Imajok?
Yeah, a major subdivision.
Oh, I see. Nice to have you, Joe, with us. It's always a blessing. As I said, for me, I connect with people a lot based on mindset, and that was how I connected with you, though. I saw one of your videos, which I still can't forget, where you were talking about some mindset when it comes to men of
Oh,
God and people in this generation. I see it a lot of people being carrying these people. I see people who are too religious, thinking that you go to church and the pastor is like the God, he knows everything, and when a man of God makes a mistake, it's like this person is no more a man of God because he made this mistake or
yeah,
that mistake. And I see when you talking about that topic, and I
yeah,
was like, I like people, young
that's
people that is
actually
talking
correct.
about things like that. And secondly, you make another video on pastors or men of God against men of God, like the way they correct, like coming on social media instead of making a phone call. I think that is something that is worth talking about. So those two videos were the things that make me know that oh, you at least he understands some basics that a lot of people this generation. I think we have a lot of distractions, and I feel a lot of people don't spend time to learn things. So I
Yeah, that's
really
true.
appreciate your time with us, and I really appreciate to learn from you too today. It's always a blessing to hear minds like you share on topics with regards to career. And as I said, I just realized that we are from the same tribe, which indeed we are brothers not just because of mindset and also because we are believe have the same faith, but again the same tribe is really a blessing. So yes, we have been talking
Yeah,
today
that's true.
about career niche, and I know it's something that you being someone who is purpose driven and very intentional, you may have a lot to share with us on that. So we will just be here to learn from you with regards to that. So maybe before
Okay,
then,
well,
maybe give a little bit introduction about who you are, what you do, and your page, so that all the people who may want to
well,
watch your videos may have that opportunity to have the link and maybe your page name.
well, first, I want to thank you for the opportunity and you've given me in your platform, inshallah. And so, you people can get me very well.
I can get
You
you.
can get me very well.
Yeah, but I think if there's a
Okay.
possibility of increasing the volume, we will be grateful. Because even me today, I'm not using my mic. I just hope that everybody gets. So
Uh,
those connected, please,
okay.
is the volume. Do you want him to increase his volume, or it's okay? Because I can get him clearly. Okay.
If you can get me clearly, then I think maybe the volume is
Yeah.
okay.
Someone already said yes. We can. That we can get you, which is good.
I'm even trying to check it here if the volume is okay. That's why I see I'm a bit not concentrating. I'm trying to get it from here. If it's okay, then I can. So first, I want to say a big thank you for giving me the opportunity to be lousy in your platform, but I say it's all for a reason for us to learn. Yeah, it's for us to learn. And I want to equally say my names are Prince Wisdom Joel, and my platform name is 237 Roy Creative. A content creator, most let me say specialize more in analysis content, meaning I pick an information online or any content of recent happenings, and I try to give um, an analysis from my point of view and my own opinion, and I try to make it positive so people could learn, because sometimes it's not all about us seeing things online or just vibing on it, or but you need to see it from a different view. What can you learn
Yeah.
from it? It's not just like somebody watching movie. What is your motive of watching this movie? At the end of the day, did you just watch the movie? Did you actually learn anything? Because in each movie
Anything,
that
yeah.
is being acted, there's a lesson in the movie. In fact, there are so many lessons. So what did you learn in the movie? So that's what I try to do. So I try to pick recent happening content, then I try to give uh, my own point of view, how I see it, how it should look like, on how it should be. Like I said, it's analysis and it's my opinion. It may not be good to you, but maybe it may be good to someone. But the fact that maybe the opinion is not good to you doesn't mean that it is not actually a good one at all. So it's not like I'm really doing something really that much. So that's the little I'm doing like that.
Yeah, thank you so much. I really love what you're doing, though. I really, really appreciate that because I have you. I have also, like, personally, I like to be informed, but not too informed. So when there's something that I want to know, I want to get the in-depth, like, so in terms of what really can I pick from it, what lesson can I pick from it, as opposed to what is happening and just what is happening at that moment, which is something you do. And I have a couple of other content creators that do what you're doing, and it's an area that I really think a lot of people should really also like. We are talking with regards to content creation niche. That's a niche as opposed to just gossip, which I see a lot of people do the same thing. This is trending, but you just and also focusing on the negative side, which I admire and appreciate what you do. Like you really always want to first share the lesson. You share your opinion, which is what you do. You share your opinion, and after your opinion, you share the lesson. I've seen that consistency in your content, which is good, and I really encourage you to keep it up. So, as you were saying, the next thing we want to know, like regards to career and niche, what do you have to share with us? Because I know definitely you have a lot, maybe with regards to what you think about it, regards to what steps we should take. So whatever angle you want to share with us, we are open. Personally, I'm open to learn.
Well, first, since I'm just coming in, I just meet the life, and it's been long that I've been on your life. Maybe because I've been busy a little bit. I would just like you to throw a little bit of, or let's say, just refrain by throw some more light. Then I'll come in.
Okay,
So
cool.
let me
That
really know
works.
detailing on what you're talking on, which direction. Then I will then come.
Okay, so thank you first of all for always showing love. Like whenever you see me live, maybe you're just from work and you're always like, oh, let me join, let me share with her. I really appreciate that. Time for me is always the most valuable asset. So I don't take any person 1 second for granted. Basically today we've been talking about career niche, and for the past weeks we've basically been on career. So the different aspects related to career. That's basically what we've been talking about. And today, specifically, we're talking about strategies to choose the right or our ideal career need career niche. So with career niche, which is a little bit different from just saying a career, like I talked about content creation. A lot of times I see people not even focusing on career but focusing on job. And from previous videos we've talked about the difference between a job and a career. So definitely today's video was not based on that difference between job and career. So understanding that we know that there's a difference between a job and a career. But now, talking about career, what should we consider choosing a career? In that career, do we have some specific area or specialty? Those specialty in that career, for example, you can say you are an entrepreneur. But what specifically are you doing as entrepreneur? That specialty is basically what we're talking about the career. So we talked about some key things that we can check for a niche if you want to choose the career niche. Also, we share some steps that we can follow for for a good career niche to make the choice of a career niche. And I also share like some mistakes that I see a lot of people made, and specifically for me, I know the way I receive message. I always say from the grace of God. I have that discernment that sometimes have a topic I want to talk. Maybe I want to go a different direction, and God knows how He turns me. Instead of just talking about the benefits of the career niche, which is basically what when I had the topic, that's what I wanted to talk about, right? But today we basically have been talking about not the benefits of the career need, but rather how do you identify what you have to offer. So for me, that was where my direction shifted this week. So in that light, I shared some mistakes, which I think a lot of us make, or I have observed that even myself at some point, you see yourself drifting away from focusing on your career or your career niche based on maybe an immediate result. And that was what happened specifically to me this week. I had two options at some point. I had some major life decision I had to make, and I saw one option pop from nowhere, which was very easy and more comfortable at the moment, right? But after I sat back to reflect on those options, I realized that that option that was comfortable and fast and accessible at the moment was not going to lead to the end point I wanted to go. So if I took that option, there was no way like, oh, after this, maybe after 1 year or 2 months, it will get me back to where initially I wanted to get to. So it's just going to be like, when you say I'm doing this thing to pass the time, right? So basically, that is what we'll be
Yeah.
talking about today. Yeah,
I don't
so
know. I
to
can't hear
help you,
you.
by the way, so some questions I was asking, like in terms of career niche, what do you think are some steps that you can maybe recommend or you use in order to choose your career niche or you choose career niche? And also, you can maybe answer it in the form of maybe this is what I've done, or this is the niche I choose, and these are the benefits I enjoy, and or the reasons I choose it.
I don't know. Can you hear me? Because it's like I'm not hearing you again.
Oh yeah, I stopped. So I'm just like, you should take over the floor, please.
Hello? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
I said please. You should take over the floor.
Okay. I can get you now.
Okay.
Well, first, I've heard all what you said, and it's a good topic and it's an interesting topic. I can tell you because in this present generation that we are, a lot of people have literally lost their direction. A lot of youths have lost their directions basically because of a lot of things. Some are just competitive. Some are also having this low self-esteem, and some is just because of some lack of some basic needs. So it has put a lot of people out of their niche, their
Yeah.
career niche. They happen to find themselves somewhere else. And to me, I think this topic is very good. It's very good. That is why you see today you find most students, like if I want to use for example example, you will find most students would even be reading something in the university, and that's not something they had earlier had in mind. That's not something they had passion for, but they had gone there because they felt like, oh, maybe I didn't have the money to go for this course,
Yeah.
or maybe because my friend is doing this and there's prestige in what he's doing. And at the end of the day, you realize that they will all come out with, you may come out with good results, but where are you going to end up with, or where are you going to end up at the end of the day? You realize that someone just misplaced his dream due to some certain, let me say, some certainties like that. So to me, if I want to say direction of career, I want to say first, as a vision-minded person,
Yeah.
know first what you want, which is very important. That is your purpose of life. You need to first know what you want for you to be able to get to where you are. So you need to know what you want. Now, when it comes to the niche, when you know what you want, because niche is actually what you want. You understand what you want. So when you know what you want, like for example, if you understand, okay, I'm a science student, I want to become a doctor. You're working towards that vision. It means all your love and interest should be in the hospital. You should not be someone who wants to be a doctor and mostly people find you listening to music. People find you should have interest with things that are linked or related to the hospital and people who works in the hospital. You may not have the direct access. You may not have the direct access maybe because of one or two things, but that is where your direction, because that's the only way you can find yourself in your niche. You need to create love and passion for it. You don't only have to, okay, I want to be a banker. You need to have passion
Yeah.
for of a banker. You need to have that passion, and having that passion means you also equally need to have a role model. You always have to have this glowing thinking mind of making research about who is a banker, how can I become a banker, how possible it is, what are the disadvantages, what are all the networking that revolve banking, because this is the only way you can succeed. Just like I said, if you go into most institutions now and ask people, okay, you're studying management, you're studying this, what do you end, or you're studying this course? At the end of the day, what do you think? A lot of people don't know. They just feel like, oh, I just need to get the results and prove to my parents I I went to school, I'm a graduate.
Mm-hmm.
But is that actually what you wanted? Or maybe you didn't have combination in upper seat and you just feel like, oh, let me just go, because it has happened with a lot of people. Now with this, because that first mistake you're making, it has already breached and breaking your career
Yeah.
already, because you've already displaced yourself. It's just like when we were in primary school, so I want to become a doctor, we had passion for it. I have a lot of my mates. We say, okay, we want to become doctors. Yeah, we struggle with the science field, but I categorically said a lot of them now are not even in those fields. Some of them are doing agriculture. This you realize that the moment you get into before immediately you get into a particular level, people start telling you, oh, you don't need to do this, you don't need to do this, but no, that's not you. People are trying to give you their own ideas, but what about the passion you have? Because at the end of the day, just like we're doing content creating, now I am doing content analysis. That's my niche. That's where I find myself. Now
Yeah.
somebody else may come somewhere and say, "Oh, this thing you're doing, bro, it's not good. Try to get into doing skits." Now, okay, if you do skit, maybe you're gonna blow faster. Maybe you're gonna go viral faster. The moment I start concentrating on myself on what you are telling me. I'm already diverting from my niche, and that is breaking my career already. You get it's now breaking my career already because, and sometimes I may even get lost
Yeah.
because trying to find myself in this seat where I have no passion for, if you are not very careful, you may be lost. So at the end of the day, whatever you want to do to find yourself, your niche in your career, you need to first have passion and believe in it. Have
Yeah.
passion for it because when you have passion for it, the going might be very slow, it might be hard, but when you have passion for it, you may end up succeeding first because you have
Yeah.
passion. Just like today, I wanted to screen the phone today. I saw Carol. I saw the video of Carol going viral online, and I was in fact I felt emotional because when I had to follow the video, I learned a lot of things because that is somebody that was passionate in what they wanted to do and they wanted to achieve. They had
Mm-hmm.
to stick to their niche. They had to
Yeah.
stick to the vision and everything is wrong. A lot of Cameroonians knew that these two people, Karan Kobis, they were couples, but because they had a defined reason what they were trying to achieve, they had
Yeah.
to respect their boundaries in their terms of
Yeah.
operations. You could not find out that is passion. There was nothing like
Yeah.
emotions and feelings. The honest truth is, if it was you and I, maybe we were going to bring feelings inside. Oh, a lot of people are saying we are
Yeah.
good together. This thing is working. Let's just start dating. Let's just get married. Let's just make it real.
Yeah.
The moment you start bringing this sentiment, you realize
Yeah.
you are even going to break the vision that you people have. So it's all about passion. They had that passion, and they had to they had to focus on it, and they achieved. Because if I want to say award should be given, it should be given to them because they are the one that make Cameroonians to understand that oh, comedy is really something good
Yeah.
in Cameroon, and we can do it because Caro and mommy, what is Felicia, Auntie Felicia, they
Auntie
made
Philly.
us understood that people could do comedy in Cameroon. It could work because they break the system.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
stood on their niche. They find themselves in their niche and they stood on it. It worked for them because a lot of things were put in place. They were
Yeah.
conscious. They were determined. They were focused. So I will not take more time because I have something to attend to. If I want to tell somebody out there for you to find your niche in your career, you need to be conscious. You need to be determined. You need to have passion for that career. If my career, like I said, if I want to be like, to some of us, we wanted to be doctors. It didn't work well, but I can't blame someone that, oh, maybe it's my parents, maybe it's because along the line,
Yeah.
we failed ourselves because I think being we pushed through with the passion we had for it, we achieve like others. I have friends that achieved because they were so passionate for it.
Yeah.
Like when in those days, it's not like now when they are writing the GC, you see people leaving their house to some funny schools around in the night to read, and some will even go to water, put their legs
Oh
reading. That's
yeah.
passion because they
Oh, you
want
know what?
to achieve. There is no way you can do that. Was the zeal, the passion. I want to go to opposite. I want to live. That's just the passion. So there is no way anyone will find himself in a career without having passion for that thing. You may likely misplace yourself because people will come and tell you, "Oh, this business is not good for you. This is not this." But it's only your passion that can keep you in that business. They say your
Mm-hmm.
business is not good with you. You are somebody that is good in teaching. Why are you doing this? The truth is, do you have passion for it? If you have passion for it, you realize that day by day you keep increasing, you keep studying and having new version of what you're trying to do. So I don't have much to say. That's a little I just wanted to say.
You said a lot. Thank you so much. So, guys, can we please first of all send him some hearts? At least showing him some love. It's not. First of all, not everybody. Some people will be very active in comment section when it comes to negative pages. I see people who are active in the comment section. I always say, if you give those people the camera, they will not be able to talk. So,
Yeah,
first of all, you coming to show
see,
us
that
your
is the
face,
funny,
I
yeah,
really appreciate.
that is the
I really
funniest thing
appreciate.
with Cameroonians
Yes.
because when you take I am holding a camera always, so I know, and I've tried to work with a couple of people, like where I am. I've tried to work with a couple of content creators, like 5, 6, 7. Sometimes I call them, let's do video together. But the moment somebody will tell you, I can do this, I can do this, but the moment
Oh,
they
when you
light the
bring the
camera, you
camera.
realize that you see somebody break down because you can even give somebody script. You understand that? Follow this, you realize that a lot. So it is not easy, but it's funny enough that people will take their time and trying to do a video, but you see people just come under or try it. Someone want to come and teach you. How can you even think in fact, how would you even think that you could be more better than you read a book and you want to analyze the book more than the book writer? That's what
Mhm.
Cameroonians feel like. Somebody I produce a video, you want to come and tell me, no, you would have used this word, you not do like this things wrong. Do you think you know better than the person that wrote the book? That's the question. Most people feel that you always, when you're reading the book, you always feel you know better. But
Yeah.
if you knew that better, you will take a pen and pen down the book. Then you will know that it's not easy. It's gonna take you time because you make errors, and come back again, come back. So it's not easy. You see, but I keep
Yeah, I don't
encouraging
even think
all
it's
those who
just a
are
book. I
let
think
them
it's just
always
a human thing. You know, when someone else is doing something, there's always that instinct of feeling like I can do better. Just like when you hear, let me say, Mariah Carey singing some "Oh Holy Night" and touching some high notes in your head. I can do it.
that's why one of
I
my
can
video
do
I
it.
said a poor man will always tell you when he see a rich man doing something, you say, the man get money. You know, he didn't do anything fine. If God bless him with the money, I go be like 10 houses. I go take people, they go for
Exactly. Yeah,
orphanage. I
he's
go
not
feed
using
them.
his money
That's
wisely,
always
man.
feeding
Don't
them. Wait until God blesses you, then you will now understand what the rich
understand.
people are
Yeah.
going through. You will not be you'll be able to do even 1% of what they were doing. That's just the honest truth. But someone,
See,
if I get the money, I just go for street and dash people. That's the mindset. But the moment you are blessed with that money, you realize that a lot of challenges start coming your way that you yourself you should just say,
that's how I used to think, like when I was like in secondary school and see people were saying that, oh, university graduates, they don't have job. I'm like, I will go there, I will graduate and
"Yeah,
you
that's
get
just
there
our
by the time
mind."
yeah, by the time you're graduating, you're already like you don't even see where the so I don't understand that. So well, thank you so much for your time. We really greatly appreciate your time and your input. And you said something so amazing and thank you for keeping me longer. So, but one thing I just want to add for those who are watching, first of all, both of us are Cameroonians. I really don't like to take a Cameroon thing or Mayangi thing on my head. For those who follow me, you know that I always like we all are one. That is what I always stand out for.
Plus,
So
you
it's
are
not like
right.
it's not always like a call, not like I love my culture so well. If you know that, you know. So, but I always like everybody to know we're one, and irrespective of where we are, there are some things that we all can relate. So he talked about two comedians. So with that two comedians, I was blessed to listen to the story of Kevin Hart, who is also a comedian in America, how he started and some key things. So in this society, the national that is National Society of Leadership and Success. So there you have like different podcasts of different people who share their journey to success. So one thing he said, which I just want to share with us, and as we are going to the weekend, is passion. Passion is that thing that can make me, I have an idea as a person, for example, and I like something and I work hard to pay for the thing, which can make you to say, okay, I like to do this thing. This is something I want to do. You go and look for a job that gives you money to get that thing achieved. So we should not forget that passion is a drive, because that's what a lot of time we silent, because oh, you're getting money, but you have passion. Oh, you getting passion does not important. The important thing is money. Money is important, but passion is a happiness that comes when you're doing things that you really have passion for. That words cannot explain. Words can explain. It's really just a nice thing. And once you stay focused and you invest in that thing that you have passion in, like the examples you use, these are comedians that like everybody will say Kanonya, who knows the people like Kawa and Kopis. You think they are couple. They are not couple. But they just came up with their own type of comedy, and they just took out and won the market. Like come on comedy, nobody really was really paying attention in that area, to be real. But now seeing what they have done, and people now really have time to be looking for that, just wanting to have more of it. It's something I believe even you and I, no matter the country you come, may not be in comedy, it may be in your area of interest. It may be, as you said, maybe you wanted to be a doctor. Like I remember when I knew that I was not but to be in that direction. I had a friend who told me one day that if she doesn't succeed to pass a medicine concours, she was going to kill herself. I'm like, why will you kill yourself? So that was just how passionate she was in to become a doctor. And behold, she had faith the first year and she passed the next year after she said, I don't know, girl, you're going to get it. The way you want it, you're going to get it. So I just believe that if we really, really want something, we go for it regardless. We go for it even when the results are not there. So let the passion be that drive that will help us to keep moving and making the right choice in our career. Stay blessed, enjoy your weekend. It's been far, far long than I thought. And please don't forget to share your thoughts, your remarks. And if you have recommendations for us, why not? We are open to receive. We all keep learning. Oh, see, some people don't want me to go. Emmanuel, it's been like 2 years. Where did you go to go? It's been like 2 years. I remember the last meeting you were on the one of the Zoom trainings. Okay, for all of you who are joining now, it's been a long, long session, and I also have an event to attend in some minutes time. So I wish you enjoy your weekend, and thank you again for spending your time with us. We look forward to have more topics coming up next week and every Saturday, talking about passion and niche. You want to create time for the things that really makes you happy. So okay, goodbye everyone.